In the last video, we had a discussion around how we're going to fetch data inside of a Redux app. So now that we have a better idea of what's going on, let's flip back over to our code editor and we're going to start putting all this stuff together. All right, so I'm going to first begin by creating a new folder inside my src directory called actions. And inside of that directory, I'm going to make a new file called index.js. So eventually inside of here, we're going to put our action creators. For right now, let's just put together kind of like a stub of an action creator, just to kind of have something that we could import back over to our post list and make sure that we call it anytime that our component is mounted on the screen or gets rendered to the screen. So inside of here, I'm going to say export const fetch posts. And for right now, I'll just return a action with a type of something like fetch posts, like so. That'll do for right now. So now let's make sure that we can wire this up to our component and call it anytime that our component is rendered on the screen. So I'm going to change back over to my post list component. To wire our action creator up to this thing, we have to import the connect function from React Redux, and we also have to import that fetch posts action creator that we just made. And excuse me, the import path right here is going to be /actions, like so. So now down here at export default, we can put together our connect function. Now remember, we do not have a map state to props function right now. We will eventually, but at present there is no state or no data that we want to get into this component. Nonetheless, we still have to pass in a first argument to the connect function. The first argument is always going to be map state to props. But in this case, because we do not have a map state to props function, I'm going to just pass in null to indicate that we don't have any state that we want to get into this component. So now I can pass in my action creator as the second argument. So I'll say fetch posts is fetch posts. And remember, we can use a little bit of ES 2015 syntax to shorten this up to just fetch posts, like so. All right, so now inside of our component, we can define the component did mount lifecycle method. So right above render, I'll say component did mount. And inside there, I will call this.props.fetch posts. Okay, so now the instant our component is rendered on the screen, we should be calling our action creator. So our action creator fetch post will be called. At present, it's going to return an action with type fetch posts. And that's pretty much it for right now. Now, if we flip back over, we can test this out just very quickly and just make sure we don't have any error messages or anything like that. Okay, so it looks like we're just fine here. Now let's take another quick pause. When we come back to the next section, we're going to wire up our request over to that JSON placeholder API inside of our action creator. So quick pause and I'll see you in just a minute.